was only for the night.
We're riding around the world to road test GoRUFFLY gear in the K9 Moto Cockpit and to raise $100,000 for Girl Up. Every 6 months we tackle a new challenge. First was the Arctic Ocean, then the Darien Gap, and now we're aiming for the bottom of South America.
My heart is home with you.
Bit of a somber morning as the clouds have not really parted ways to let the sun come out. It is pleasant out though otherwise, and our trying difficult times of not having coffee in the morning continue. So Jess is having the last of the Nescafe sachets. I am having, in Andean fashion, some mate de coca tea, but it's in like a tea bag, so it's very like fake. So today involves the Quebrada, which is about an 11-kilometer stretch where the road basically enters the riverbed, and if there's water in it, it means there's water on it. And so it looks like that's not the case right now, but it's anybody's guess when we actually get to it what the conditions are. So that's happening. And then there's a river crossing, at the end of it, that's a wide one. This isn't like a little, cow piss trickle type of deal. This is a wide river crossing. Again, anybody's guess what the river level and width will actually be. And yet, amidst all that, Jess is worried about what we're going to do for our other meals once we reach the hostel at the far end of it.
I spread my wings and let go. Something stirring in my soul. I feel it again, feel it again, feel it again, feel it again. Unlock the cage and free my heart. This is where the journey starts. Now it begins, now it begins, now it begins, now it begins.
So we've reached San Juan y Oro, which is kind of a weird sounding name, but it's a teeny tiny, everything and nothing pueblo of like 5 houses right before the Quebrada. The Quebrada is basically the wash where the highway runs into what would be the river, except that it's dry. And right here at sort of the entrance and outrance is where we met up with or ran into these 2 Spanish riders who are out here for a good long 7 weeks, just cranking around, heading down to Ushuaia. Now they're off, and successfully, because the big joke is after you kind of have a nice little chat with some other riders and stuff, and you say, okay, that's when you ride off, hit a rock, and fall over and look like a fool. So no foolishness.
Nope.
And now we're just going to have a little drink, have a little snack before we hit the Quebrada. So the Quebrada is what,
11 kilometers.
And it's just running the dry riverbed, which
5 of the kilometers is supposedly really good and easy, and then the other 5 is soft and sandy.
Ready to live, ready to live. Like a dove I fly away. Now's the time, today's the day. Now it begins, now it begins. Now it begins, now it begins. This is gonna be a good day.
We've come to this wadi, or wash, and Miguel and Ricardo had told us that there's kind of a really exciting site here They call this like the America's Cup. It's this big sort of mountain kind of crag piece that's sticking up kind of separate from everything else. And I think it's just over here. And then just off to the side of it, you get to this like really narrow kind of Utah style looking canyon that you can kind of crevice that you can walk through. So that's what we're doing. But first, we're watering.
So we've come up the wrong canyon. It's probably on the other side of the wash. So now we have to hike it back and then see if we can find where the little number is for the actual one that we plan to go to. She leads the way for us.
We've reached the small but very lovely and quaint town of Kusi, where, by the way, they have a Wi-Fi signal in the little town square park area.
Whimsy, come back. Whimsy, come.
And
Whimsy, come. Gracias, Whimsy.
we've come in search of food and provisions.
Sit.
And that's what we're doing here. We've bought some provisions, and now we're sitting in the square where our bikes have been patiently awaiting us. And we're just making a bit of a snack, of a lunch, a slunch. Our hostel that's like on the edge of this Valle de la Luna, which there are Valle de la Lunas everywhere you go. Apparently the moon is very prolific on Earth. But we're gonna hang here and eat for a bit while Jess is organizing that and figuring out where it is exactly. We've arrived at our hostel here, which is overlooking absolutely a spectacular view of the Valle de la Luna. And there are many Valle de la Lunas as you go around Latin America. This is a pretty spectacular one. And this place, this is like the parking lot. I mean, that's the view that it has. So, yeah, we'll be staying here. So this is going to be home for the next 3 days. The view definitely is beyond homey. And they gave us, I guess this is like the royal suite here because it looks out on all that. With the exception of if other people come in their Sprinter vans or globetrotting RVs, then we won't see shit all. But for the time being, this is fantastic. The girls have a gorgeous view. I mean, Tuscarosa and Tenderfoot are just enjoying this. They've been lubed. We're gonna be cleaned soon, and it's got just barely, really not quite, our minimum internet requirement. That's an MIR, minimum internet requirement, of 19 megabits per second. We generally won't go lower than 20, but this makes up for that one. So here we're gonna be for the next few days. Whimsy's found a discarded meat bone that she's been not so slyly destroying for the last while. Good on you, Wimple. Can't always find a laundromat when you're on the road, so sometimes it comes down to hand washing, which means air drying. So all you need for that is 2 bikes and a clothesline or rope. Now, what about the pegs? Because the wind will pick up. Well, Jessica snagged all the pegs that the hotel has for her clothes, which means mine is literally out flapping in the wind.
Hi guys, Thanks for watching Go Ruffly in real time. If you love Whimsy's gear, head on over to GoRuffly.com and check out our collars, leashes, beds, bandanas, and more for your dog and all the dogs that you know. And if you're interested in the K9 Moto Cockpit, which is how Whimsy rides with me on the back of my motorcycle, you'll get all that information about sizing, mounting, and everything else at GoRuffly.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe.